Oh, we all know the world is getting madder by the minute, but did you know the Mad Hatter was part of a white supremacy regime? Me neither. But that is what is being claimed by one British university that says Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan are among a collection of kids' stories that have been given a trigger warning for white supremacy. So let me get this straight. York St John University has added the disclaimer to a collection of historical kids' books, including works by J.M. Barrie, Lewis Carroll and Jules Verne. Students are being warned that these classic tales, which were made for kids, may contain offensive examples of white supremacy. Now, surely I'm not the only person who thinks this is bloody madness. Are there certain lines of dialogue in Peter Pan where he talks about the natives in a way that today would be described as racist? Yeah. Is there some sexism in the way that the little boy who never grows up talks to and about Wendy? Yeah, there is. So what? Pan wasn't written today. It's a clear example of its time. I've read Alice in Wonderland, for example, and I thought the story was about a girl who took some drugs and goes on a crazy trip. Sam knows what I'm talking about. But either way, I don't need a trigger warning for it. We saw something similar last year when they went a step further and actually changed the content of old books that the so-called powers that be, these boffins, deemed to be too offensive. Remember, Roald Dahl's work had the word fat swapped for enormous because, God forbid, someone overweight may take offence at hearing a word that could trigger them. Well, a spokesman for the university has tried to defend this ridiculous decision and said, as custodians of the Rhys-Williams collection, we have a responsibility to provide both access to historic books and to inform our students, blah, 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 blah. It just goes on like that, basically. It seems plain to me that in order to protect people's feelings from hurty words, this university and several others like it are breeding a generation of soft, intolerant young adults who haven't got enough resilience to read something that they may find offensive. They may find offensive. So we're being left with a generation, a Gen Z cohort who will continue to erase the past and shut down and cancel anyone who has thoughts different to their own. And then we wonder why this country is heading the way that it is. Today, it's Alice in Wonderland, and I promise you, tomorrow, it'll be the Bible. Because in the Bible, well, we've got slavery, we've got parents sacrificing their kids, there's prostitutes being threatened with death, there's babies being massacred, remember that one, every firstborn child? Oh, and a very violent end for the main character in the Bible. Spoiler alert, though, he makes a comeback, there's going to be a sequel. Today, at this very second, we have kids in this country living in poverty. People working more hours than ever before, still unable to pay their bills, and a health service on its knees. If I have a heart attack and I call an ambulance, there's no guarantee the ambulance is going to turn up in the next 20 minutes. It might be 4 hours away. But you want to be offended about old stories and some words. Well, if you are offended by these old kids' books that are a true reflection of outdated attitudes of their time, may I politely suggest you get in the bin, you absolute waste of space.